Hello and welcome back to the Elliot and Matt channel. My name is Elliot and I am going to be showing you my Shropshire garden, rather our Shropshire garden, and how it changes over the next 12 months with a series of monthly garden updates. So I thought where better to start than January. As you can see, well, you might not be able to see, but it is absolutely freezing out here. I could do with a pair of gloves on. I've got my wellies on and my welly socks. I would advise getting some of those for the, well, just for comfort, and just when it's cold it really is important to have the right kind of equipment. I am also wearing some new gardening trousers because I realised that I didn't have any. So I would say make sure that you definitely get a good set of gardening clothes at the outset. But no, this is going to be a garden tour, but we are expecting some really bad weather over the next week. So I thought I would get this video made now. It's the 16th of January, so literally mid-January. Things have started to happen in the garden. I will show you we do have some growth. We do have some bulbs springing up already. In fact, I can't wait for the spring to come. It's that time in the year, just after Christmas, just after New Year's, when January, February are often a little bit bleak in the garden, and I have just been itching to get out here and start pruning. It is actually the right time now, this month and next month in February, to start pruning your roses. So I will talk about the roses as we go on the tour. So without further ado, let's take a look at the garden. So it's quite sad to say goodbye to the Christmas wreath, but we have taken it off the door. This lasted pretty much from the very end of November all the way through till today, and it's actually looking really, really good. In fact, what I might do is take off this foliage, keep the frame, and then try and reuse it and try and make my own version next year. But no, that worked really, really well, but it's sad to say goodbye. So this is, I suppose, my utility area of the garden. We do have our waste bins. I have a small shed. It's only a thin, narrow one. We did replace the big shed when we moved in because it just took up too much room in the garden. I should mention as well, there's our hose pipe, that's brand new as well. And we've had an extension. We do have a full renovation series on the channel if you are new. So basically all of this garden is new. There were all bushes and shrubs in the garden. We took them all out. We had to make room for all the building things that were going on. Because anyone who's had building work knows that they just trash the garden. So it's almost best to kind of start again. So we had an outdoor tap put in. I do have a sock on there to stop it from freezing over. We had some new lights put in as well. We have this hose pipe, which is really, really good. So yeah, that's really good. You can actually unhook this and put it in, but we haven't quite got enough storage in this shed, so we may require another kind of storage unit there. So going through, we have this nice little area here, which has some gravel on it, and this area, I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I think because it's kind of closest to the kitchen door, we may put some herbs on here. So maybe like a little bit of, maybe some pots or a little bit of a raised bed with some herbs in. We're also using it currently for storage, and we do have some plants that I didn't get a chance to plant. So these are a few months old, like this rhododendron here. So they do need to go in. Again, we keep our bird seed in here, because we do like to feed the birds. In fact, I haven't topped them up. So if I just go in and show you, it kind of keeps everything nice and dry. I've had to pop a brick on to just stop the wind from blowing it over. Leftover slabs, these were here when we moved in, so we need to do something with them. I'll tell you about a little plan that we've got for those later. Like I say, we have lots of bulbs bringing through. These are violas. I planted a vast array of bulbs in here, so they should come through in succession. There should be some snowdrops coming through. I think there's some tulips, there's some daffodils, some tete-a-tete in there, so they should all come through. So in the monthly updates you'll see all of those. We have this bird bath from the old garden, which the cats actually quite like to drink from. So this is the main garden. Now, as you can see, the main problem, if I just zoom out in this garden, is that there isn't a lot of height in it. It's a new garden, so everything is quite flat. We had new turf put down, and obviously this patio was not here. We've got some outside electrical points in case we need them for something. This bench is really special. It belonged to my nan, who's no longer here. So I had that from her after she passed away. We have some more pots with pretty much the same things in, but we'll go through those as time goes on. Now, in these beds here, so we have sleepers. I thought it was nice. I wanted to get a kind of mix of the old but also new. If you look at the materials that we've used, it's quite traditional. We've got the fence post, it's a brand new fence. We've got all the galvanized steel of the hinges and the latches. So I wanted it to be quite traditional. Again, I can't quite remember, although I have kept all the cards of all the different plants, all the perennials which we've put in this border. So they are actually starting to come through. And these bulbs here are actually ones that have cropped up that must have been in the old garden. So it will be quite interesting and nice to see what actually springs up, because I don't actually know, which is quite nice in a garden that you've inherited, I think, to kind of find out what does actually come through, which is quite nice. Now this area over here has actually been redone twice. This is where the original shed was actually over here. We had to move it, so we temporarily put it here. These are the old slabs that were originally here, forming all the pathways. This is where we hope to put a greenhouse, a galvanized steel greenhouse, although it is a little bit small. We made a bit of a boo-boo because we need to be able to walk all the way around the greenhouse, and we kind of can't if it's there, because that is pretty much the size of the greenhouse. So this needs to be extended, and I think we are going to use a lot of the old slabs that are over here. So coming over here, we did have a gate put in. It leads to a little bit of scrub area at the back, which is very handy. Now, these garden slabs here, and also the old house bricks, these need to be moved. Everyone has that thing in the garden that they really want to do. We never got around to moving these. So we do have somewhere to store them in case we need them. We will be using them to perhaps extend this patio area over here. We do also have some leftover cobbles as well. Now the land does the boundary kind of slopes on a bit of a triangle. So as you can see, there is a little bit of a triangular shape, but the lawn and the patio area is all squared off. By the way, it's really freezing and my hands are actually really, really cold. So all of these plants here are what we've put in. We have a beautiful hydrangea limelight, which I'm hoping is going to come back. Now and next month is probably the time to cut the hydrangea heads off. And there's a rose over now. The roses, a lot of these roses, some of them are brand new, and some of them are from the old garden. So I can't actually. They've got a bit muddled up. So I'm not actually sure what that one is. All my roses are David Austin roses, as you've probably seen from some of my videos. So I'm going to wait until they come through to find out if they're in the right place. Although I have kind of guessed if they're in the right place by the shape and size of the thorns. I've tried to match them. They just got a bit muddled in the move. So all of these are new. This one we actually had from the Shrewsbury Flower Show. They were selling off the plants. Now next month, I do believe it is time to cut off all of these dead bits, and then all the new growth will come through. I've tried to leave tags in where I can, and we will be going through what they are in future videos. But as you can see, there are still some bulbs coming up. It's just quite nice to see the garden springing in. Now, these roses over here, I've planted 5 new David Austin roses. Now the idea is for them to climb up this fence, and I'm going to put some supports in at the top to train them. These are rambling roses, to make a natural barrier for cats, not to stop cats coming in, to stop cats coming out, because we do have 3 cats, and one of them is a short-legged breed and cannot go out over the fence. So rather than buying these expensive and rather ugly cat defences, I thought we'd do it naturally with roses. So the cats love this over here. They constantly are nibbling on it, although I think I can cut this back. I need to look this up on how to care for this, but I think I can cut it back and it grows quite big. So I'm thinking that is cutting back. Now this I've had in the old garden. It's a brand new one, but I absolutely love this one. It is, of course, whoops, it is the Mexican orange blossom. It smells gorgeous, grows fairly big. I'm just trying to put that back. It grows fairly big, but it's nice evergreen, and I think that will do quite well there. Now this area needs a bit of attention and work. This bench, again, belonged to my other nan, who is now no longer with us. Now I did try and paint this and fix it up. It needed a bit of renovation. It needed a little bit of work doing to it. So I did stain it in this grey. It needs another coat. I didn't quite get round to putting the second and potentially third coat on it. So I just did enough to protect it over winter, but you can see where it's starting to go a little bit, and it does need that extra coat. So I'm just waiting for the right weather to come. Again, I did pop some mixed daffodils in this border over here. So that they will all crop up. There's also lots of roses from the old garden, and also some new roses that I want to climb this 5-foot fence. Looking back towards the house, we have this kind of central runway. Now, I might end up putting some arches or something over, but I wanted a rose walkway. I don't know what I'm going to do with this bit of grass here. We could potentially turn this over to being a meadow. I did have like a mini meadow in the old house. In fact, I'll sit down on the bench and you can take in the garden. So yeah, we need something over here, although on this bottom patio area we would like one of those nice kind of sofa areas, so we could put a pergola over it or something. But it is quite nice, and you can see how the sun sets over there. It's quite a nice position garden, really. It does get the sun at nice times of the day when you actually do want to sit out. The patio table we did have in the corner over here, but we moved it because the cat can climb on it and jump over the fence. So eventually that will be moved back in the corner. But yes, this garden is just basically a real work in progress. It's essentially a brand new garden on a 1940s house. So it is like starting from scratch. So it will be really, really nice to document how everything changes. I would maybe like to naturalise some daffodils and maybe some tulips or something in the lawn. Here is the cat in question. Hello, Bo. But it is really lovely in the summer to fling these bifold doors open. So there we have it. That is the garden for our January update. This is the start of the supports. I've bought these little eye hooks and some wire that is going to go all the way along the fences. There's quite a few meters of fence to do, so that's a job that I'll be doing. So anyway, so we're back where we started now. Probably in a future vlog I will also show you the front garden, because that is a little bit different. I do have some roses in there too. Now my fingers are absolutely freezing, so I am going to go in. Don't let the sun fool you, it is absolutely freezing. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe for all the latest updates and transformations that are going to take place over the next 12 months. So from me, to you all, and goodbye.